Hello and welcome to my presentation on the analysis of Otto Dix's painting, Wounded Man. Who's Otto Dix? He's a German artist born in Unterenhaus in 1891. Dix volunteered for the German army during the outbreak of World War I in 1914. During his service, he was wounded several times and nearly died and was discharged in 1918. Dix was both fascinated and horrified by his experience at the front lines, but that was exactly what he wanted. In an interview, he said, "I have to experience all the ghastly bottomless depths for life for myself. It's for that reason that I went to war, and for that reason I volunteered." His art was drastically impacted by what he experienced, and in 1924 he exhibited a cycle of etchings named the Krieg, or the War in Berlin. This consisted of a total of 50 etchings expressing the horrors he saw during his service, one of them being The Wounded Man, Autumn 1916, Papum. As for the naming, each etching is titled with the location where the artist and his unit saw battle, which made this cycle a collection of photo documentaries of the war in a time when photography of battles were not allowed, and the most horrendous images of war would take years to reach the public if they ever do. Throughout the 1920s and after losing the war, the German government and army fabricated and idealized the image of soldierhood through popular press and media. They even played down the traumatic effects of combat on the injured veterans by questioning their masculinity. Dix's etchings negated this and exposed the ugly and gnarly truth of warfare. Now, let's take a closer look at our Wounded Man. The mediums used in the painting are etching and aquatint. The techniques he used were perfect for the theme, as it produced a messy and dirty effect that gave this impression that the plates themselves have been attacked, shot at, and muddied with the fallen soldiers. The black, white, and gray demonstrate the gloomy atmosphere of war, and the lack of colors make it ghastlier. The contrast in values makes the man stand out from the background. The painting is realistic and detailed. It tells a story of pain and panic, and the body of the wounded man is the narrative. His petrified popping eyes and his gaping mouth immediately capture our attention, and we could tell he is in a total phase of panic. His body is placed uncomfortably and awkwardly twisted on what seems to be a collapsing ground. The image evokes the spatial disorientation experienced by soldiers at war. His right arm is gripping his chest, seeming as it's reaching up from the ground to pull him down into his grave. The face of the soldier is the main focus of the painting, and while his eyes are focusing on the viewer, it made the viewer part of the narrative. The viewer had to attest to the truth of pain and injury, making the painting even more impactful. Der Krieg, and especially The Wounded Man, are a powerful statement against the ugliness of war, even if that was not what Dix intended them to be. And regardless to the brutality of the theme, I still find the lines, forms, and composition of this painting very beautiful and captivating, and only affirming Dix's incredible artistic skills. Thanks for listening.